All right, Musqueam and Tsleil Waututh Musqueam, Waututh Hakachanek Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh Queempsna Skwamish Stomo, on Wanax and Squalowins Chenquinman Tomi. First of all, I want to acknowledge good spirit within each and every one of you on this beautiful day. My name is Tsleil-Waututh. I come from the Squamish Nation. Nickname is Wes Nahanee. I thank the Creator for bringing us together, and I'm very honored to be able to share this time here today. Myself, I didn't start learning culture until I was in my 20s, when I was very fortunate that my uncle, Selilwitulh, took me by the hand and brought me through ceremony in our longhouse. And then I received the name Tsleil-Waututh and have since been talking with the elders and learning as much as I can about our Indigenous culture, as well as many other Indigenous cultures throughout the land. Drugs and alcohol came into our life as a form of suppressing emotion. People started taking that, Myself, I became an alcoholic, I became a druggie because that's what I grew up with. The families were trying to suppress that hurt, that anger through residential school, through potlatch ban and stuff like that, not being able to deal with our culture. They suppressed it with drugs and alcohol. You hear that saying, oh, it's just a drunk Indian. Why is that Indian drunk though? Because his parents, his grandparents, their parents passed that systemic abuse down. And we're very fortunate that people are starting to listen now and starting to realize that, that abuse comes from hurt, that abuse comes from anger, and it makes a body sick, it makes a spirit sick when you hold that anger. And the best way I found was to pop some pills, drink some alcohol, send my mind somewhere else. And that was okay for me at the time because I didn't know any better. It was through culture that I got introduced to another way of dealing with that systemic abuse. It was through culture that gave me that heart to be able to look at other people that are hurting and to realize that they may need some type of medicine, whether it come from the land or through pharmacy, but it needs to be regulated, needs to be looked after. A lot of people, they see Indigenous people and they assume that we all come from the same culture, we all practice the same ways, but it's now our turn to step up as Indigenous people and share who we are as true human beings. So, one of the things I always encourage is bring it to the land. There are many spirits out there, and when I say spirits, I talk to the spirit of the cedar tree, the spirit of the water, spirit of the land itself, that are healing and help me heal in my lifetime. Whenever I start feeling a little down, a little lonely, a little lost, the first place I go is to the water, up in the mountains, to the cedar tree, go and have a nice nap under a tree, go and sit by the river and share my spirit and try to strengthen it in a good way. So, the benefits of connecting with culture, it brings people, it strengthens their spirit so that we can learn about each other. A lot of times in the cultural work that I do, it's to bring people together into that canoe. And when you include nature in it, include culture with it, bring them together in xʷməthkwəy, one heart, one mind. The benefits are staggering. I mean, the forest itself teaches us, when we're sick, if you know how to look at trees, when a tree is sick, all the other trees around it will kind of lean in and share that spirit. So sometimes it's good to walk barefoot in the forest, if you will. Get rid of that man-made material that separates you and the spirit of the land, No matter what culture we come from, we all have that belief, People go into their own, what we identify as churches. Mine is the land itself. And they acknowledge and honor beings of different spirit. Indigenous people have always done that with the land. So I like this opportunity. My mother shared with me was, if you're ever feeling down, just go and sit with the water. Water is the main thing, our bodies are 80% water. Our tears are medicine when we cry. And so whenever my mother wanted to have a moment with me, a pure moment, she would say, "Son, let's take a walk up to the river." And we'd go up there and we'd sit there for hours and just talk and bring our truths out to each other. And that's basically how I got connected with the land itself, was through my mother sharing, She's like, it's medicine to our people. When your spirit isn't right, things don't go right. And so we need to be able to bring our spirit together when we're doing work. Even when it's stuff that's hard to deal with, like death or tragedies of other sort, You got to take that moment, go sit by the water, and bring that spirit to calmness so that you can do the work that you're meant to do. Myself, I've lost almost 15 people in this last year that are really connected with each other. There's been a few elders that I've listened to for the last 20 years, that shared teachings all across the land. And it's a struggle, to be honest. It's a struggle seeing that and not being able to go and be with them. But the way I look at it today, what brings me through it is this right here is my body. My spirit is within, and the way I'm taught is when we make our final journey, we jump into that canoe on our own and we travel to everywhere that we've been to collect ourselves, to collect our spirit, to make it whole again so we can make that final journey. And so the way I look at it is my friends, my family, the loved ones that have gone are still there. They still come around, their memories still come up, their teachings are still here within me that I can share with people. And so it gives me solace in believing that their spirit is still here with me. Praying every day for the ones that are going through their addictions, knowing that addictions are a form of running away. Hopefully we're at that time now where we're able to do things like this production and show the people that we have teachings, that we have ways to get through crisis. There are ways through culture, through speaking with our elders, of being with people in xʷməthkwəy, one heart, one mind, that help with those addictions. And that's what I encourage, jump into your canoe, go for a journey and see where it takes you with culture. Slow down, look at all our teachers. Our teachers aren't just the ones sitting in schools. Our teachers are everywhere. Every day you have a teacher come into your life. It's up to us to open our eyes to our heart to be able to see that. if you bring it to the land, it'll be much more healing for each and every one of us. See ya.